Hold on to your hats, folks, because the world of digital creation is about to get a whole lot more interesting. We're talking about the metaverse, NFTs, and a whole lot of fancy graphics. All of this digital wizardry requires serious computing power, and that's where Rndr Token steps in. This blockchain-based platform is shaking up the rendering industry, promising faster, cheaper, and more accessible rendering power for everyone. Imagine a world where artists, game developers, and even your grandma with a newfound passion for 3D modeling can easily access the computing power they need to bring their digital dreams to life. That's the promise of Rndr Token, and it has investors and analysts buzzing with excitement. But is this just another case of crypto hype, or is Rndr Token the real deal? Let's dive in and find out. This could be the future Rndr is building, or it could be a dystopian nightmare, where we're all forced to wear those ridiculous haptic suits Mark Zuckerberg keeps showing off. Only time will tell. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't investment advice. In fact, I'm not even allowed to give you investment advice. It's in my contract. Something about a rogue hamster and a series of unfortunate investments involving a banana plantation. But let's just say, hypothetically, that you were interested in deciphering the cryptic messages hidden within Rndr Token's technical indicators, the Moving Average Convergence Divergence, MACD, which sounds like something out of a science fiction film but is actually just a fancy way of saying trend indicator is giving us mixed signals. On the one hand, it suggests a bearish trend, which is bad news bears, but on the other hand, there are hints of a potential reversal, which is good news unless you're a bear who was betting on bad news. The Relative Strength Index, RSI, another one of those technical terms that makes you sound smart at parties, is currently sitting at a neutral level. Think of it like a referee in a wrestling match who's just standing there, watching two sweaty dudes grapple with each other, waiting for one of them to make a move. So, the technical indicators are about as clear as a politician's promise, but that's the crypto market for you. Despite the mixed signals from the technical indicators, analysts are lining up to sing Rndr Token's praises. They're like a barbershop quartet, but instead of matching outfits, they're all wearing those same Bluetooth headsets that make them look like they're talking to themselves. One such analyst, who goes by the name Mr. Patrick Schmidt, which sounds like a superhero name, but for finance, predicts that Rndr Token could reach $50 to $80 this cycle. He's basing this prediction on Rendr's past performance and its impressive partnerships, which we'll get to in a minute. Another analyst, who goes by the even more mysterious moniker machine 4LPHA, seriously, what is it with these guys and their names, is even more bullish, suggesting that Rndr could reach a $100 billion market cap. That's a lot of billions. He points to the growing demand for decentralized computing resources and Rndr's strong fundamentals as reasons for his optimism. Of course, it's important to remember that analysts are like weather forecasters. They're not always right, and sometimes they just make stuff up. One of the most promising signs for Rndr Token is its surging on-chain activity. It's like a digital gold rush, but instead of prospectors panning for gold, it's 3D artists, game developers, and other digital creators flocking to the platform to take advantage of its decentralized rendering power. Token burns, which are exactly what they sound like, have doubled since mid-August. This is a good thing, I promise. It's like reducing the supply of a rare commodity, which makes the remaining tokens more valuable. And the more people use Rndr Token, the more valuable it becomes. It's a beautiful cycle of digital supply and demand. This surge in activity suggests that Rndr Token is gaining traction in the real world, which is always a good sign in the often hypothetical world of cryptocurrency. Section 5. Whales enter the pool. Institutional interest on the rise. Remember those analysts we were talking about earlier? Well, it seems like they're not the only ones who are bullish on Rndr Token. Big-time investors, the kind who make it rain with $100 bills and probably own at least one solid gold yacht, are starting to take notice. Data shows that whales, which is crypto speak for investors with deep pockets and even deeper FOMO, have been accumulating Rndr Tokens like they're going out of style. These whales have amassed a staggering amount of Rndr, signaling their confidence in Rndr's long-term prospects. Now, I'm not saying that you should blindly follow the investment strategies of whales. they have a nasty habit of turning around and selling all their tokens at once, causing the price to crash faster than you can say rug pull. But it's still a positive sign that institutional money is flowing into the Rndr ecosystem. Section 6. Apple in the Rndrverse, a partnership with potential. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the partnership that has everyone talking, Rndr token and Apple. Yes, that Apple. The one with the fancy phones and the even fancier CEO. While the exact details of the partnership are still shrouded in secrecy, rumors are swirling that Apple is considering using Rndr's decentralized network to power its upcoming mixed reality headset. Imagine a world where you're strolling through the metaverse, your Apple eyeglasses seamlessly rendering a breathtaking virtual world around you. You reach out and pluck a virtual apple from a virtual tree, and it tastes just like the real thing thanks to Apple's patented eye taste technology. Okay, maybe that last part was a bit much, but the point is, the potential for this partnership is huge. If Apple throws its weight behind Rndr token, it could catapult the platform to new heights. Section 7. Beyond the hype, risks and challenges to consider. Now, before you go remortgaging your house and investing your life savings in Rndr token, it's important to take a step back and consider the risks. Because as with any investment, especially in the wild west of cryptocurrency, there are always risks. One of the biggest challenges facing Rndr is competition. There are other players in the decentralized rendering space, all vying for a piece of the pie. And let's not forget about the big tech companies who are always sniffing around for the next big thing to co-opt and monetize. Another risk is regulation. Governments around the world are still trying to figure out what to do with cryptocurrency, and it's possible that new regulations could stifle Rndr's growth. And then, there's always the possibility of unforeseen technical glitches, security breaches, or rogue developers running off with everyone's money. It's important to approach any investment with a healthy dose of skepticism and to never invest more than you can afford to lose. Section 8. The future rendered, a world of decentralized creation. Despite the risks, the potential for Rndr token is undeniable. Imagine a world where artists, game developers, and creators of all stripes have access to the computing power they need to bring their visions to life, without being beholden to expensive software licenses or centralized cloud providers. This is the future that Rndr is building, a future where creativity is no longer limited by technical constraints or financial barriers. It's a future where anyone with an internet connection and a dream can create something amazing. It's a future worth getting excited about. Section 9. Buckle up, $50, $80 might be just the beginning. So, is Rndr token set to skyrocket to $50 to $80? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, this is a project with huge potential. With its strong fundamentals, growing ecosystem, and impressive partnerships, Rndr token is well positioned to capitalize on the explosive growth of the metaverse and the increasing demand for decentralized computing power. So buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride. And remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just a comedian with a keyboard and a healthy skepticism of anything that promises to make you rich quick.